Hello to the people. Have I seen Radiance Cascade GI? I mean, I have not been paying that much attention to global illumination techniques. If they're real time, I mean, because they're just not fast enough, right? Um, if you mean an offline version, then I don't know. But like, I still haven't seen one game that does real time, so called real time GI that I thought it was going well. You know what I mean? I am proud to announce Twitch now tells us what was our most used emote. Then it was the gamer emote. So that's great. Good job, everybody. Have I read any Dostoevsky? No. Writing your first programming language Lexer, and Jai Lexer is a good reference. Yeah, thanks. I mean, the key to Alexer is just that, like, you can do different things different ways, obviously, but like, the key is that the level of complexity that you see there of the code is about what it should be, right? There's different tricks you could do if you think you need to do certain things slightly faster, although, again, the Lexer is by far the fastest part of the entire compiler, so who cares? But um, there's things that you could do, little tricks, but like, it's just regular code like that, right? It's not like, you know, brain surgery. That's the thing to understand. So, if you start doing something tricky, you just you have you have levels of understandability that you could compare it to. Path of Exile 2 developed it. It's real time and great for that sort of not too 3D scenes. Interesting. So our next game after this might want to use something like that if it's really fast enough. Like, to really, the threshold for it being actually good in my mind is the following. Okay. It needs to not be incremental, right? So you need to be able to do the whole thing without converging it across frames. And you need to be able to do that in, let's say, 10% of your frame budget. Right? As long as there's different kinds of incremental, I guess, right? The other kind is okay, probably, as long as performance is smooth. The other kind of incremental is like we took a lot of time before rendering the first frame, building some coherent data structures that we modify incrementally over time as things change. Like that's maybe okay, but it would be better if you could just do it from cold in 10% of the frame time. And until you can do that, there's no real reason to adopt a global illumination method unless your game especially depends on it in some way, right? The brothers Karamazov. Yeah, the nearest I've not done any Dostoevsky. I was doing an audiobook of Anna Karenina and I didn't finish it, but it's in part because the reading of the audiobook was like so fucking horrible. Also, it's just really long. Yeah, but I don't know how similar you would consider Tolstoy and Dostoevsky to be. Maybe they're not similar at all. Core Keeper used radiance cascades for its lighting. I mean, I never felt impressed by lighting in Core Keeper in any way. I certainly don't remember. When I think about that game, I don't think of lighting. I don't know. Okay, we could maybe watch this as an educational thing later tonight. Uh, this is called ExileCon 2023 Rendering Path of Exile 2. Why is there ExileCon? There's literally Exile. Was this an online event? No, he's standing there in front of a bunch of people. All right. We might watch that later. Path of Exile is pretty big. Yeah, I guess it is. They're very different. You hated reading Tolstoy because everything he wrote is too long and has too many letters, way more than reasonable. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me. All right. Maybe we'll watch that tonight. We'll see how it goes. We got some video games to play as well, but we want to get some Overworld done. We're approaching um we're approaching having having the entire Overworld done. Um which doesn't mean it won't change, of course, but it does mean that it's not like a complete unknown. What the fuck? Dude, somebody wrecked fucking selection in our editor at some point. Oh. Wait, what just happened? I set the group ID on all these. It just like didn't work. I'll have to go watch the VOD. All right. Anyway, we already had a group for this. So we'll just set things to that. See, the way that I wrote this editor is you select the first thing, and then as you select more things, the first thing stays in the slot on the entity panel. But at some point that broke. So like if you select toggle something, you get something else, which is ass. And I don't know why that changed. I don't know if somebody did that for some intentional reason or if it's just like a bug, but I just haven't had time to go in and investigate because there's so many other things happening. All right. All right. Yep, so we just got to put these things in that same group. All right. Okay. Oh, we're missing the. Boom. All right. Missing those two. Okay. The whole reason I did that is so I could work on this without it getting in the way. You didn't like a story where everyone has 100 times stronger emotions than you see in any sane person in real life. Yeah, I mean, I could relate. All right. So I want to arrange things. So this is good. So this is going to be a linear sequence. All right. That's just how that is. This is linear. That unlocks that. Unlocks that. That unlocks that. Okay. Cool. These unlock these other things that you see around here now. We need 3 more. Well, hold on. We need 3 more colors of stuff. Just so I can keep it straight. Who knows how these are going to look, but we're going to have some complex locking between these rooms. So we want some mirror aisle stuff. That's going to be like that. Okay. We're going to have promised stuff, which is going to be like brown. I don't know. Yeah, like that. That's a good brown. Downtown Leroy Brown. And skipping stones, which feels like, I don't know, gray. None of this, we'll do a real treatment on it later. Anyway, I can certainly tell the difference between these things for now. Okay, this one. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, cool. This level does not currently work. We might want to make it work, but as of now, it is currently broken. Okay, this one. Ah, yes, I just designed that recently. And then these. Yep. Yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, this one. Yep. All right, so I just need to order these correctly, and then I didn't need to look at the spreadsheet. Okay, this one is currently broken, but we're going to assume that it gets fixed, so we're not even going to mark it broken. Okay. Yeah. Maybe, let's assume this one is first. I don't know that that's the case. Okay. Something like that. Let's not actually set up the arrows yet. Okay, these are all messed up. These are going to different places. We don't really want that. All right. Okay, allocate heroes. Oh, I see. No, 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 no. I mean, we could see we could do it that way. But I feel like I want more control over the order. Okay. And then there. Um okay, that makes sense. The unlocking does not make sense. Wait, why? I missed on the unlock somehow. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. That is some semblance of a thing. That's 12 levels. I think there's more on the spreadsheet if I look. Did I ever play Factorio? Yeah. I tried playing the expansion pack though, the Space Holio expansion pack, and I just couldn't play the game over. I don't know. All right. So, let's make sure we have everything here. Allocate heroes V2. Mirror 3. See no evil. All right. All right. So that's interesting. Stone's Prelude. Place Lily push style V2. Actually, this is the wrong order for these, by the way. For mirrors right now, we just have N2 mirror 3. Okay. All right. So into river place. Three birds push we got. Promise prelude push style we got. Place slot 4x4 push style we got. Into clone divergence. Ah, yes, sir. Okay. Divergence underscore 2. Stack prelude push style. Prelude priest water. Goblins only. Floor plan V2. Around the table end. Peak toggle. All right. These are the ones that we have right now. Okay, so to organize, boom. All right, so now these ones are going to go here. Okay. Cool. Wait, set up contraption push style. Why is that there? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, SP. What else do we have here? We have MS around the table and stack prelude push style. Okay. Okay. What do we think of this ordering? Around the table end. Yeah, it's fine. You know, the ordering of those two levels doesn't matter that much. But that's a fine ordering. Okay. Okay. Right, we've got around the table end. Okay, so stack. Wait. Stack prelude push style we have there. Not promised prelude push style. That's, we got this wrong. It's that one. Oh, that's this one. Yeah. Okay. So we've just got 4 things to deal with here. That's easy. Didn't know I was into abstract algebra. Hyper complex numbers are not abstract algebra. Abstract algebra is a specific thing. It doesn't mean algebra that seems abstract to you. And I don't really know any abstract algebra. I don't know what that does. All right. I mean, that's just a straight heroes level. All right. Okay. 3 more to organize. End to River Place. Mark is working on this. That's a straight up skippies. Okay. So that's fine. Cool. Um, Around the table ends. We already have that? Yeah, that's there. Oh, I was looking in the wrong place. The floor plan V2. Right. That's, yes, that's a HM. Just copy that. Okay, wait. Before we forget, we need to put that here. I don't think it exists. Yeah, okay. So HM floor plan V2. Okay. And then peak toggle, which was this. That's basically mirrors. All right. So for this one, that's going to be unlocked by that. Oh, peak toggle. Okay. So that's going to be that. We'll have that one be this. Also there. Also there. Also there. Okay. For this one, going to do that. For this one, though, we're going to do that. Okay, and that's going to be there. And then we only got one level for this. So all these are going to be the same level. Basically, you know, the pattern here is you need to unlock 2 things to get into any corner here. Wait, I did the wrong one. Okay, so to get into the primary directions, you just need something from here. That's what the red ones are. And then to get in the corners, you need 2 things. And right now, there's nothing in a lot of the corners. And now we get to think about, do we want to do something goofy with the unlocks? And of course, the answer is, of course. How's it going, everybody? You meant the visuals, shouldn't they be like the same material everywhere? What? Everyone knows the key to a good game is using the same material everywhere. Like, I don't even understand the point. Cat birthday parties are really good. Dude, the ancient Egyptians could build giant pyramids and cool stuff like that. And they also had cats as pets. So, like, there's something good about that. However, their cats probably weren't as small and retarded as our cats, but it is what it is. Why you have different water shades of differing levels of quality on multiple maps? Because water is not the same everywhere. One of the ways that you make things look good is that you apply aesthetics to the situation at hand. All right. This is water material that has not had that process done to it, just like these are walls that have not had that process done to it. It is not my job to make things look good. That's the job of other people on the team. I think my programmer art looks good. Well, it does look like a lot of indie games look, that's for sure. Okay, it's time to get a drink. Do we do a sody pop or do we make some tea and try to do the new French press that I got and see if it'll work for tea? I suspect it won't, but you don't know if you don't try. I'm going to do a sody pop. Back in a second. What kind of sody pop? I am having a Waterloo peach flavored sparkling microplastics. Very likely that the French press will oversteep. Well, this is the thing, okay? Look, with a good French press, you can push it all the way down and there's no gap at the bottom, and then you don't oversteep. But this one doesn't quite go 100%. And that's an issue. But if you have a French press that goes 100%, it's very good for tea. That's not sody pop. I consider it sody pop. You don't have a good French press. Well, I was hoping that this one would go all the way to the bottom. And it doesn't. It might still be. So I have used a French press before, just in a cafe one time. So I don't have a lot of experience with it. But it didn't quite go all the way to the bottom. But like it still worked. Like somehow, somehow the rate of flow can be low enough through the mesh there that it just won't oversteep that quickly, right? Like, and the process is slow enough that you just don't practically speaking have an issue. So maybe that would be true with this one. I kind of doubt it because it's also like big. As a newcomer to the game design world, what are the biggest misconceptions, traps there? I mean, I understand that that's a well-meaning question, but it's there's no point to asking that kind of question. Like again, I've made fun of people when they ask a question like that, but for programming. Design is more vague and harder to see, so I wouldn't make fun of people for asking that question for design. But like honestly, it's a very useless question. It's a way of delaying actually thinking about game design, right? If you were actually thinking hard about game design right now, you would be thinking about specific things and you would have questions about specific things, right? If you don't have questions about specific things, it means you haven't started yet. And that's a red flag because it's easy to start. You just start. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't, it doesn't take any work to start. Like after you've started is when the work happens, right? So just start working on game design and then you'll have better questions. What frameworks people use to think about it? I mean, I have a way that I think about game design for sure. Um, it is not like a framework that somebody wrote up that you could read about. Most of those that I'm aware of are not good, right? The best you could do to understand the way I think about game design is either go watch some of my game design lectures on YouTube, or uh, you can listen to the commentary on the Braid Anniversary Edition. I go pretty in depth on that. Um, and that's the best way that I could explain how I think about things. But also, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of like adjudication of issues relative to each other. And you can't communicate that like in a pithy summary in the middle of a live stream. It just doesn't really work that way. So that's literally the corner of the. We're going to leave that blank for now, I think. Just so we don't have to deal with it. All right. You know what? That's fine. Yeah, I don't mean to be flippant about this either, because I've spent a lot of time and energy in my life trying to communicate about game design, right? But I mean, the material's out there for people who want it. The material's out there, and that is the best that I can do. Okay. So now we have a decision to make, even more dramatic than the moral choice at the end of BioShock. And that is as follows. The goal is to get in these diagonal rooms. And actually there's 6. So let's make room 6 here, which does not yet exist. Oh. Oops. We're going to make room 6. I should have made it bigger. Oops, sorry. Okay. Room 6 is going to be locked by that and that. Okay. Now, this room over here, it's not getting enough respect. We're like not going to be able to do anything in there, right? Let's just make it bigger. Okay. So, the goal is to get into these 6 rooms. And now that I think about it, they really should be a different color than the 4 cardinal rooms. And that's going to be annoying, but let's deal with it. Let's pick a color. Let's make them a little more orangey. Orange Juliusy. All right, so we got our central strip. Okay. And then we got that. And then we got that. I'm just chopping these. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I didn't save the color. Save color. Load color. All right. Isn't that nicer? Look at that. You can kind of read that. Now, you know what? We're gonna do this. don't like that. Okay, that is how that's supposed to look. We're just being pedantic about what is where in the world. Wrapping there, there, there. Got them. All right. How you design satisfying and challenging puzzles when you as a designer can always see the solution. I mean, again, holy shit, I've got hours and hours and hours of lectures about this, right? The point is, they're not arbitrary difficulty challenges. You're not talking to somebody whose idea of a puzzle is a difficulty challenge. Okay? It's a different mindset that I do. And when you understand that mindset, you see how it can be interesting. That said, that's the most important part. That said, there is just a design skill. If your idea of a puzzle is a difficulty challenge, there just is a design skill that is knowing how something's going to be when somebody plays it. That's just a thing that you work on as a designer and get better at. And that can apply in the kind of cases that you're talking about. But like, you really, yeah, I don't know. It is pretty easy to make things harder for players. Yes. That is a good thing to realize as a game designer. Good point to bring up. Thank you. It's not only pretty easy, anyone can do it, and they can do it an arbitrary amount, right? It's very easy to make things hard. It doesn't take any particular skill to make things hard, right? But some puzzles are hard and they suck, and some puzzles are hard and they're really good. So good is obviously at least kind of orthogonal to difficult. So that's what you want to be concerned with as a designer is wait, if good is orthogonal to difficult, how do I understand what good is? Do I have an operative theory for what makes things good and what makes things not good? That's what's important. Your taste will develop as you go. That's how it worked for me. Yeah. Like my ideas about game design are very, very, very different now than they were when I started. And the reason is because I did a bunch of game design. That's just how it works. Okay. So this is the decision that we make. What do we do what do we do in each of these rooms? I kind of want like I want each room to be on theme, right? So like here we could mirror something onto a button. Here, I don't know, you could smash something so you could push something else onto a button. It could be the same button color. That's that's two. If this is a smash beam, then here, I mean, oh, we need, see, we're going to need water in some of these zones. Maybe, probably. If this is a smash beam, we could do skip smash. I don't know if we have enough space for that. I mean, how do we work that out with the water? Okay, that one seems hard, but we'll see. Um, so here, I mean, we just don't have space to work with. I mean, maybe we give ourselves more space around the edges. Like, obviously, you can do some token thing. With mirror and skipping, that's easy. Heroes and skipping. I like yeah, we should let it spill out into the edges. Heroes and skipping, I like Druid. I like Druid skipping on Passant. However, that's not going to be possible to do here. Okay. Let's just set some of these up so that we narrow down the possibilities. Narrow down the possibilities. Okay, we got skipping stone, crystal, mirror, easy. Boom. Okay. So here, if I just do, this is just like a no-brainer. We could do something smarter here eventually, but it's like, look, you unfreeze the crystal. I guess the problem is we don't want you to push it out of the room. So it's up there. And this goes onto a button. We're not going to use more space for this yet. Whoops. I mean, or maybe we will. It's just we don't need that much. We don't need as much space as we have. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we're gonna do that. That is gonna go onto a button. This button is code 99999. I don't know. I don't know what's our limit. 3. All right. We're gonna put one of those there too. I don't really know what's gonna go in the other corners that does anything. Honestly. Okay, so like we were saying though, we can do a similar thing here. I should fix this a long time ago, but I didn't. But I didn't. Okay, so that's going to be in there. We're going to have 2 of these guys. And we're just going to have a beam. The smashing beamkins. There. So you smash this guy, you push this guy there. There we go. Okay. We're going to need that to be powered. Okay. So down here, this is where it starts getting harder. Oh, we should okay. So this would be locked, but there's no level yet. Okay. Thing for mirrors and promise. We could put crystal rover. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. So here's the thing. I'm trying to have, hey, you can go down this awesome hallway when you do the things in all the rooms. And the thing about buttons is it's easy for those to affect something, right? Uh, Beams, they could shine into the necessary place. However, yeah, I mean, we could put another smash beam that's like up, and there could be a double boulders. There could be Hero's Gate, double boulders from Mirrors and Promised. I mean, again, the, I mean, maybe this goes around all the rooms. Instead of just going straight, it could go. And then these could be different buttons with different gates. And then it would be, we would kind of have a suggested order that you would do these in. Okay, I like that. I like that because if we go over all the things, then it's very easy for us to affect the pathway. That sounds like the name of an indie art game, The Pathway. You guys played The Pathway? I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's got like a grandma walking slowly around. I just realized there is a game called The Path. But that's not the one with the grandma walking slowly around the cemetery. I think that's the one uh, where you're in a cabin in the woods. It's not called The Pathway, however. It's just called The Path. Maybe because the developers are European and did not realize how much more pretentious the name would be if it was The Pathway. There's some keystroke that someone put in this engine that I keep hitting by accident, but it sort of does what I just did, where it like spams stuff every time you move. And Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know how that works. Actually, let's have this go here and rejoin there and there. Okay, so you go around and around and around. The thing is, we don't want you getting on the walls, probably. Therefore, we will put fences. We will put fences everywhere. Do I ever listen to music while working on games? No. I stopped doing that a long time ago because um, it's just a mental distraction. Like, if you're thinking deeply about stuff, then you're not listening to the music anyway. So why is it on, right? What is this called? Into upper. Nope. Let's try a trick. See how cool selection undo is? Okay. We got to keep adding our fences. These, I just realized these are too tall. We don't want the tall boys. Well, maybe do this. Game from bar straight B. This is all going to get changed. I'm just trying to go for what can I read effectively right now. Okay. It's going to be a mess no matter what. I'm just trying to do all these horizontal holios right now. What a butt. Pain, what a butt. Pain, what a butt. Pain, Clementine. Instead of having all these fences, we could have done something else, like had invisible walls or something. I don't know. All right. But pain, what but pain. Hey, do we have the pathway? Oops. I think we have the pathway. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. Do I have a design on paper? During the witness, I would design on paper sometimes because some of the puzzles were simple enough to do that. But in this game, I almost never would design on paper. This doesn't make sense. Okay, so this is going to be 999992. Okay. This one's going to be 999993, right? Cool. This one could be another switch, maybe. I don't know. Okay. That's 2 out of 6. Missing one gate inside the U-turn. You are correct. You are correct. Okay. Next. All right, so now it is not so hard to do this. So, for example, We could have a classic. We could have a classic, which is a purple beam that drags you down, like your friends who don't want you to succeed. Right? Classic. Okay, that's that one. See, we maybe don't need that much room. So we've got one, two, three. We need three more. These ones might be a little harder. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, wait. This is promised and skipping. That's fine. We can still do it. Okay. This was going to be just like, oh, you just push it out of the way, but no, the point is there needs to be a skipping stone involved. I kind of like keeping this at the corner, but we could put it over here. Okay, I like this though. It's elegant. All right. So we're going to have a water plane. What are you complaining about, game? Lock grid. We went we went in the Y for some reason. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. We're gonna have to debug that later. Um, does not want to be this tall. Okay. So we're not going to worry about resetting these objects yet. What happened to my Skippy stones and stuff that I pasted? Remember? Oh, they're over here. Yeah. So we want that. Let's bring this over to the middle. Weird. Why is that wrapping to... Oh, no, that's correct. Okay. Okay. still complaining. 190, 163. There's still somebody poking out. Oh, -9 as well. We've got multiple problems. I think we'll report those when we load in. I'm not going to worry about them yet. Let's figure out the puzzles. Then we'll do the editing fixes. Let's make sure we got all this grouping. Hey, we did, except for the new stuff that we added. So we want these to also be there. Ta-da! All right. So we go here, here, here. We need here. Mirrors and promised. Well, that seems like it would be a beam. And it could be a strong beam. Could be a strong beam reflected upward. Of course, we could just do it vertical, right? We could. What are our beam? Let's review our beam options. Oh, it could be a rover. Could be a rover with a mirror. Yeah, that's more creative. Okay. All right. So our path could like end somewhere. Like, for example, here. There is a challenge to be met here. Okay, hold on. We could end there. And then we have a rover with a mirror going this way. And it's got, it's stacked up, right? It's like boom, boom. Okay. And then we got a mirror on there. And it'll mirror you to down here. Get the actual mirror. So it'll go shoop, right? And then that'll go there, there to there, to there, to there. Okay. And then that will be locked on this. Now the question is, will the objects, will these correctly redetermine their support? The answer to that is we don't know. We don't know. Also, this is kind of ass because you could just mirror yourself from further back and cut ahead anyway. So that's not good. We actually want to change. We want to change the path. Let's put this at the edge of the room right now anyway. Okay. So we're going to change this to come in like this. Is it ugly? Maybe. Maybe. Who you calling ugly? Oh, good. I goofed. I goofed. I didn't move it enough. It's like that. All right. It's like that. It's like that. It's like that. Okay. So now, actually, I think we don't need this little David St. Nubbins here. Something like that. Okay. So you go over there, you do that. And then you come on over here. What is this? Mirrors and skipping stones. Okay, I think in this case, there is a skipping stone. It is blocking your path in the corner. See this little corner? See that? And so you simply want to get a vertical mirror. And dispose of the skipping stone, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we don't want you to be able to go up there though, right? So that's going to be in a little David cage right there. Okay. There's no level to lock this on. Okay, now the final. Heroes and skipping stones. I think I think we could have a little monstro water scenario. We could bring back the always ever entertaining priestess wardrobe. Just trying to set the group. Why can I not click? All right. So and then why do we do that? It's because there would be gaps. There would be gaps in the system. I don't know, in various places, right? And you would walk on the monstro. So we're just going to carve out some water space here. Oh, I probably also forgot to check my corners, by which I mean my walls, on the other water that we did. We don't want stuff, but yep, falling out the side. We don't want that. Check your corners. All right. So we're going to have a water here. We're still complaining. That's great. Okay. We don't have a level. Thus, we will merely do the thing that we want to do. We're going to go like that. And then we're going to have lily pad. Crystal. So that gets us up the wall. Crystal, right? No, because that would put us above. So wait. We're over. Oh, because we started one lower, right? So lily, let's turn off the arrows for now. Lily pad, crystal, monstro. All right. Yep, that's working. All right. So we go here. We go solve. That should melt some stuff. Ta-da. Okay, we can get into the other cardinal directions. We cannot yet get into any of the diagonals. Okay. Okay, this one. This one is not. I don't know what his deal is. He's not solving, first of all. But second of all, this wants to be locked based on that. All right. I don't know why that is not solving. Maybe there's... Dude, I don't know. Maybe the position was jacked up again. Okay, now there we go. Yeah, that position was at the wrong coordinates. Okay. We need a better entity out of bounds report. All right, so we go over here. We do this. Great. We have more access. Okay, so actually, problem number one is there's this thing called an overhang marker that separates zones, and whoops, we did not expand our overhang marker to include the pathway. Yes, we need to do that. That'll get rid of the spam that's in our view. Okay, so we solved this. We push that there. Now if we go up to the pathway, which we got to go down for. There you go. You see the green gate is open. All right. Now, we neglected to put a gem to power this purple beam. That's problem number one. It is not blocking us. So let us do that. We did put this gem. Let's get rid of these markers. We did put this gem here, as you'll recall. No, where was it? Over here. We did put a gem there. Oh, you know what? This is considered the same screen as... Is there a gem here? I don't think there is. No. So what's going on there? Is my question. What is going on there? Why is that beam not powered? I mean, that gem over there, okay, we got another position problem. This gem, we got to work on this code a little bit, all right? Minus 24, 146. Yeah, see, this is it. Yeah, all right. Just something about the wrapping is not. You know that whole he's the DJ, I'm the rapper arrangement. Okay, there we go. So now I will show you what happens when I try to trespass here. It'll be like, you cannot. I'm stuck. Okay, so we got to solve that one. Which means we got to do this. I mean, honestly, we just shouldn't have the power on until you push the gem. So we'll do that. Anyway, we do this. We go there. We got to solve these. There we go. Now, when I go attempt to trespass, ta-da! Ta-da! Oh, I didn't do that one. Okay, that's fine, because I also didn't do the rover. It's all good. So let's do this one. Let's do the rover. Please work. Ah, I knew it wouldn't. Fuck. Okay, well. So now the problem is the mirror. Oh, dude. We could have that one be knotted. Okay, that's fine. So now we got to get in over here. And got to do this. All right. Cool. So is the mirror there? Yes. Yeah, so the problem is the mirror is not going to be visible unless we do something funny. Ta-da! Okay. There we go. V1. V1 of puzzle. We need to do a few things. This is an issue. We could just do that for now. I think that solves that. We need to have the ability to reset these entities because you can screw things up. And then what do we do about that mirror? I don't know. When pulled down through a grate, should the character not turn to ground meat? Well, that is a teleportation pull. It is not merely pulling them magnetically. They are discontinuously moving. All right. Let's take a little bit of a brain break. Guys, I've been waiting years to have V1 of this. It's still not a complete V1 because these rooms are empty. Whatever. It's fine. It functions because you still have to get into the rooms, right? Okay. Any game design questions or anything? I'll be back in a sec. Getting a snack. kind of want to go to the store and get some snacks. We might do that tonight. Was that V1 of the entire game? No, not quite. That was V1 of this area. The entire game, we're almost there. We're almost there. But we're not quite there. There's some other stuff that must happen for V1 of the game. Oh. I was going to change this. Nodded. Is this a game where you knew what the ending would be like from the beginning? No, I have never known what the ending of the game was in the beginning. 0 times when I made a game was that ever the case. Are those desks? No, they're like placeholder signs that sort of take up a whole square. I'm designing the puzzles. Do I have a story or plot in mind, or does that come later? Well, for this game these days, I know generally what the story is. But when I'm designing an area like this game is just very simply, it's a gameplay first thing. The level design is what we are working very hard on. And, you know, it's the priority. The story is very interesting, but this is a huge game and we have to do things in some order. And so we do the level design first. And then we fit the story, hopefully. Okay, so I need to do a spawner kind of scenario. So I'm just going to copy these. I'm going to put that like here. I don't know. There. All right. So we're going to have, oh, we wanted the gem to get moved. So that's 1. Two, 3, 4. I hope I'm not going to have too many frickin' things. 5, 6. Oh God, this. No, you know what? You can't do anything to that. 7, 8. 9. Is that enough? Okay. How many things do we have on here? 16. Oh, we got more than enough, dude. Okay, is that the one we started with? 5, 3, 6, 9. No. Where did we put that one? Where did we put our first one? Oh, there. Okay. All right. Boom. Put it in the slot. Boom. Put it in the slot. Boom. All right. I think it's going to be 693, 694, right? Six nine five, 696. So this we're not going to worry about yet. We'll probably just block it. I know we put 9. Where are the rest of them? Where did I put the rest of them? Oh, yes, there. Oh, that is 9. All right. So oh, I can't mirror because of this. There we go. That's great. I like it. I like it. Okay, this is an interesting one because this one won't be blocking you until you power the thing. And once you power the thing, then you got to worry about it. But if I just reset this and don't power the thing, I will actually be able to go past that room, which is cute. Right? So here I'm like, oh, what? No big deal. And then I'm blocked here and I'm like, how do I do that? And then I go do that and then I'll be blocked there. Hopefully people don't freak out. All right, I'm going to check that in. Other game design questions. Can you start in multiple points in the worlds here? I don't know what you mean by similar to the old games. Which old games? Is there a point where you're done with working on the game and waiting for the art to enter the game? Not really. Not really. Was that an update? I think that was an update. I mean, it is true that as art goes in, I get a better feel for how the game is going to end up, and it does change my decision making or inform it more. But generally, I don't wait because these are very design centric games and there's just so much to do in design that why does this keep adding? What is going on? All right. Look at all those little fences we added. Great. Has there been a moment where the art has been like a bolt of lightning or collaboration with the artist and made a big change for the game? Not usually. Um, there have been times when artists had design contributions to make, but again, in general, the art is behind the design in that if we don't design things, there's nothing to do art for, right? And so typically the way it works is you design something and then you determine how it looks, right? And I don't know, this like, yeah, I don't know. There are exceptions. So, for example, in The Witness, for reasons that are particular to that game, the gameplay depends a little bit more on the art style than most games, right? So, the way things look almost automatically affects the gameplay in that game. Um, but it's still not like dramatic, like you're saying. What happens if you push the mirror onto the switch? Then you're stuck because you need to be able to toggle it. So you'll be able to get two squares further than you could, but then you won't be able to get the mirror off the button without going back down and resetting everything. All right, that is a milestone. Um, I think since we've taken the W on that, we're going to become a gaming stream for a little bit. How is the games market now? Are sales low? I mean, it's just been the continuation of the indie apocalypse, right? And what that means is even a lot of good games don't really make much in the way of sales, but there are still some games that make a very large amount of sales. So if you're releasing an indie game, you kind of got to make sure that people the people pay attention to it. Wait, is the new, what's the new fucking one? I gotta put the game in. I don't know what the game is. Supra World is the new one. Okay, we're gonna fire this up. I'm gonna get some vanilla ice cream. And we're gonna we're gonna see. Did I ever play It Takes Two? No, I just the game really just. Hey, we're preparing 5,000 shaders. Ice cream has a very tough consistency. Got to get it out of the thing. Get the ice cream out of the thing. Get the ice cream out of the thing.
Digga, digga, do. Dibbly do.
Let's get some Mario coins. I can't jump. I need jump legs. I want to open the door with the giant key. How do I... Maybe the key reaches from here? That's pretty weird. All right. This guy's a fentanyl addict. I'm mixing up the ice cream.
Ram lam a ding dong.
Did you put him up to that? Mario coins. I need running legs. Yep, I can't run fast enough. I've got $7. Okay. Get the yellow eggs. You are looking at a nude egg. Why am I... Oh, it's the fan. We got $17. The people are blocking me, I guess. Oh, no. Yeah, baby, look at the dollars. Dude, I don't have any eggs because I cannot jump. We've got $21.
Snap, snap, snippity bob.
I don't even know what we're trying to buy with our dollars. I feel like $24 is a significant number of dollars.
Dippity doo.
I feel like $28 is really quite a few dollars. So how do I buy jumping legs with my $28?
Dippity doo.
I mean, those yellow eggs do look like pills, right? Like speed or something. No, I didn't find any yellow eggs. Maybe I can actually get this one. One of them. Oh. Okay. Boy, the Unreal Engine physics sure is making this better. All right. I need to jump over that. I can't. Is there a way to turn off the fucking stupid ass hints? So I can't like put it on the... Shut up! Boy, the Unreal Engine physics sure do make the game better, guys. They sure do make the game better. Okay, I can't lift it. Shut up! I got a secret dollar. Hey, how much? $20. Look how high I could jump now. It's awesome. Oh, I could have got these before, probably. I don't have the good jump legs, though. Whoa, look at all that. I just need to bridge that. Too bad I can't use none of these money coins to bridge the connection. How did I not get these? Money coins.
Heidi, Heidi, ho. Digga, digga, doo, doo. Snippity doo, snippity dop. Diggity
Yeah,
doo.
I know. I know these things that you are telling me. That's too high, probably. Can I just grab the toothpick? I need to slide under there and hit that button. Dude, did I just Call of Duty slide?
Snip, snap, snippity bop. Wap, bop, 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 bop.
Whoa, what? Why am I dead? Why was I dead? There's a toxic. Oh, it's a razor. I have to jump over the razor blades, but then I'll hit my head, right? I can't crouch to move that matchbox. Shut up about the egg. Shut up about the egg. No. I guess I'm not fast enough for that. So do I have to drop on this switch with my body weight? Ah. Come on, man. Sucks. Ah! We'll get that later. All right, this might be enough Superland for us for now. It is probably time for me to go out dancing. And then I will return. See, it sounded like this one was 0 because it had a different click. But the rest of them, I can't tell the click. All right. That's going to be a sufficient amount of Superland for right now. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And we'll see you later. see you later.